I think I'm going to keep riding on this Happy New Year thing until March 10th on my birthday. So Happy New Year to you, and thank you for joining us on the Think.Set Podcast. And on this second edition of 2026, I am speaking to a gentleman who I think we see him a lot and then we're motivated when we see him. But now today I've got him here. So I want to get from him how he's been, how he's doing, and also just to get to know him a little bit. My name is Kaelo Sabone, and thank you for joining us again. Right, so Mogomush. It's a pleasure to see you. I think just do me a favor and just drop your mic down a little bit. Just take it down. Yeah, like that. As long as you're comfortable with it, Yeah. All right. How has it been, sir?
It's been good.
Mhm.
Awesome. Looking up to highest gain to tenants.
Yeah, it's going to be a very funny year.
Yeah.
It's a year we're not used to. I think.
The year we're not used to.
Mhm.
What is happening even around the world, I think about in general in the community and how feel what it kind of our channel go at the TV.
Yeah, we are feeling what people felt in the 1940s. However, before we start, let's just have you introduce yourself, Mr. B, so people to know who you are and understand you, right?
Bob Frank Ramohampi. I'm a passionate person about life, doing life good, doing life well. And I do my best to ensure that I put as many people to live life effectively. That's what I do. That's what I'm about.
All right. I also know you are a pastor. Let's touch on that a little bit.
I am a pastor. I've been a pastor for the last 17 years. This year makes 17 years. And it's been a great journey, leading the church, working with people, working with the community, national leaders. And I'm just enjoying the whole pastoral thing.
All right. So now we look at life as it is, right? Botswana has changed. And we've seen, I think, about 5 seasons of change. And our 5 seasons, we count them based on the leadership that has been there, right? What have you seen in your lifetime up to today?
Hey, I think Rona, but it's summer 1K, born in the early 80s.
Yeah.
You grow up getting to know, how life is Motswana, Boromen there, the school trips to Motswana medium. And then you get into the early 2000s, which was when I was going to tertiary, and you are seeing the coming in of the internet. I think back in the days before we had social media, we had Idumela or something.
Yeah, Idumela. That was bigger than Facebook in controversy.
And we'll talk with some of our Botswana friends who would be in Malaysia, everywhere, come in and all of that. And then the invention of social media as a did.
Yeah.
And line being the way it is, you can be able to know things that are happening in real time in the other part of the world, and be able to communicate with people. I mean, it's been, sometimes I look at some of my age mates and those a little bit older and how difficult it is to keep up with some of these changes. Now you see my 2K man countries around it, life is moving at a very fast pace. The things that we used to know of job security, they are not as they used to be. If you went for this company, you are settled. If you do this course at the university, you know that when you come out, you are secure job-wise, no longer the same. But Christy, we are hearing things that we never had before. But before, you used to know what if you hey, we trust you on the surface. Now things have changed. Life is different, but now and politically things are no longer as they used to be.
But we look at this, and I like reversing back to the 80s, because when we grew up, we didn't, I think our generation now, early 80s up to the late 80s, we had the advantage of coming in the time when computers were being invented, or coming into real action, and then coming to 1999 where we didn't know where it was going. But I think we started well, right? But our behavior was different, Pastor F. Our behavior was very different. But what was different with us being raised then to the generation we are seeing now that is raising itself?
Part of the primary from, I look at my kids, we are blessed with 4 children. I look at my kids, I look at the way they do things, I look at how some of the teenagers of now do things. Back in the days, like, the entire community. we played with every kid because we didn't have as much of PlayStation, indoor games and all of that. We were always out.
Yeah.
Everyone knew everyone. But the way we present these days, but Aban like we used to. And no kudiso ya rona has a kudiso in a worry. It's like each person is looking out for themselves, looking out for Banabagone, what they are building, and all of that. Now it's not the same. So much so that even if somebody was to scold my child on the street and my child was to tell me and can direct me or like anything, I'll go there because carry. But back in the days, it wasn't so. If I get home, my mom won't do it. Hey, my mother will be angry that I did something which warranted somebody to be able to, take that action against me. And so, no, we tell for the more rich, but we are united that way. It's no longer the same. It's like, I would use this way. It's like we are in a selfish generation. Everyone is looking out for themselves, and much more the invention of technology and all of that. It's good, but it has taken away to an extent the one thing that has made especially Africa to be who we are, which is the community, the oneness, the ability to build together with the resources that we have. And what probably the worst experienced before us has finally come to us, where no they just go wherever and not mind put their father, their mother into the home of the elderly. You get. And now we are seeing that coming to be in our space where we knew we recorded thing narrator from everywhere. And sometimes people ask of why another operator and 7 days? What was the reason behind that? People have to come from different places, go to you. But these days, it doesn't even matter. Even if we are we are losing that thing that made us to be who we are.
But who's failing at this, right? I not blame, right?
Yeah.
But I can't blame myself necessarily because there's someone before my generation. But who is losing the focus? Now I grew up kids or how to school, buka. It was a routine. Buy the buka, how to buy the buka, change how to wakun, the keto, the beke, scotch, football, the chama, all these things. We played them. And we played with others. Generation was similar bo Sega and then PS1 about
Yeah.
Who's is it us who've messed up currents and cutting?
In our opinion, I think, certainly at the back of our minds, when you see what we called better privileges, one another PlayStation, kind of and we're doing certain episodes because that's all we had. Well, now we get educated, we have better opportunities, we are able to build better houses, have air-conditioned houses, TV and afford 2-3 television sets in each bedroom and all of that, take them to better schools. All of a sudden, all these things, these are slowly they are dying and we don't even realize it. But they are privileged. And when we now got the privilege, it was like, now it's our turn.
And it's our goal.
It's our goal. We're looking forward to having this, affording our children this. It's like, let's just say it as it is. But I'm not going to have one
effect.
And the school. I mean, I'm talking of me as well. But I'm not going to feel as they can't translate they can't write a Setswana composition effectively. And we are privileged. We are not realizing that now we are losing that which is us. gongwe dijo. Bana ba rena ga batle go ja serobe, gate sane, ke eng kgolo. Bana ba rena ga batle go ja megorogorwane, mara because now re ba disa dijo tsene gore ne re sa di bone rona re fona, ra akanya gore ke tsa batho ene gore ga ba di ja, ra re ba humile, ba privileged. And we are not raising them in the same way that we are raised, which is us. Nothing wrong with bana ba ba itse sekgwa, nothing wrong with go ja dijo tse di rileng. But there are things that are as meraka, masimo, and all of that. When I was doing a research the other day, Mr. K, and I discovered what you know, the man to earning ale round the run for it and all of that. When I get a thought around how when you live around shape it's around, they help you with your thinking. The corner they block your way of thinking. And now, how to make it and then that's about again about when you are in touch with the soil, the ground, or basically walk up what's around the it kind of like balances your body structure, your body pH and what you use. But now can you worry how to make a point the rare talandis, how one am I to get going to be one number to or talandis? Like someone opponent, 10 so we are losing even some things that we thought they are a sign of poverty. When you are at this level, you are privileged, and it is not so. It is on us to go back to really who we are and what works for us, which will advance us further.
And now what scares me in these things is that we had immunity to a lot of diseases.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
but that built our immunity. And we were doing these things at a young age.
Yeah.
If you look at our fathers and our grandfathers, they are living longer not because they were doing anything else, but they were but this then has put us at risk. You know, our education, I went to Botswana Media and I was a brilliant child. Not because I was born that way. No. The schools, it couldn't make sense.
Yeah.
But now we have shifted this thing. What has killed is I think the education is still the same. The same education I got then that got me here is the same one that has been running as people are saying curriculum high change. Why did we let go? Why did we have to change? Is it to influence an African?
Hey, that I think now it's more parallel to move identity and we move identity our rescape to the seventh. It can just be improve on what you have with the better resources that are there. For example, at this point, I don't know what they can see. My parents have seen Balima and all of that. One about the already just one at be. But having that within 12, what I label with just a we commercialize it, but still doing the same thing. Now, Tanavana worry, Nelia market to what kind of better, cut the make it tracker. And ratio was it. We can take the produce from this area was centrally wherever, right? But I think the necessary was to abandon that which we thought or whatever, instead of just improving on it. Just say a lot. The bush, one as a roa, you should be joining. There's that toothpaste as no there is an attach. And those things have side effects.
Yeah.
You are using toothpaste to tell what you call it. Is it fluoride? Exactly. And for the terrible night, but said by now, about at long distances, what about the Como, multigrade, and all of that. An average person may eat the same food but sit down the whole day.
Yeah.
They don't put movement, their bodies are getting wiped out on a daily basis, then dying while they are there. Genetically modified food has the very you are the point. My wife some years ago said something what what kind of said you and like how to answer I grew up with my dad, and then Harapo Polybaric or Gulsco Paran, Harapo Barina Parapesano, so what once a order, this and that. And that thing is still something in me because I saw my father working himself off, doing whatever he can with what he had. I saw my mother and all of that. It taught me a whole lot. Instead of abandoning certain we should have just improved on them with the technology that is here now, with the developments in our sensibility. Instead of using the now things to destroy ourselves. The average person doesn't put movement into their bodies. We saw kind of our COVID, but are so unhealthy. On a daily basis, you'll find that an average person just takes around 2,000 steps. And they eat a lot, take 2,000 steps, eat foods that are not good for their bodies and all of that. Responsibility or the resources or it. And we need to killing ourselves. Are we really improving or we are going backward? Why might we be able to meditate that I want to back up? Would some another way that never would show a cat? Teacher and the most that we are school making the days. I was so now a bit of Jack Abacao. Abuse. I have other opinions.
But the same people who are making these laws to really support and this so-called abuse are the same people who went through the same education. Why are we denying other people?
Exactly. But look at the ills that are now coming out from Bananababu School. You know, Bananababu School the other day I saw on Facebook, I think my phone 2 or whatever, my phone 3 in Motswana, they had to do it earlier, whatever, because and all of that. But I'm my teacher. Worry. There was a time where our soccer team was doing better. I think under 17, establishment about party, all of those.
Yeah.
And we had Champions League, all of those under 12, under 15. Then let's have a kind of similar Osukolo. And who were not talent, the Osukolo, Baba ne Pasiana, Baba ne Paring. And my teacher were willing to go.
And they were actually proud of it. I remember now when I used to run, my teacher was proud. He was a coach, not because he wanted to be a coach. He felt, this I am doing.
A big talent from school.
Yeah.
I was the naughty boy club.
Yeah.
But they
yeah.
I had some teachers that really bonded me. I was a very naughty kid, and I can think of one day him like a man to know or something like that. You know, I was performing terribly, sitting at the back what they're saying, because they don't want to so I look like an elder did. And that lady one time looked at me and said, it's all about that. And she just said one day, if you were to move from the back of the classroom to the front, you will see a difference. I don't know what happened to me. I tried it. I can tell you this. I became the first student that second term to where they are the whole school.
Yeah.
And yet I was the last in the first term. Just because teacher me on another period and Sabone for an Okanka and was patient with me. How many teachers today have the courage to do that and or the liberty to do that?
Especially the ones that are those ones are fading away. Gradually they're fading away. What's an Instagram?
The younger ones by the one about security take out some. So
and maybe I'm not getting paid enough for this thing.
Yes. So Havana see it. We have tried some of these things and brought some teacher. Brought some teacher Safari. But I think my teacher, we have not empowered them enough. I think it's time we sit down and ask, do you think to do that whole? High school into the more fishing. Let's find a way to what it. Regarding Toka hands, you know, and better better even our communities.
Yeah. But now we are talking about building, but before we get there, something you said to me that is stuck to my head. It's an energy thing, right? You said Ranamatung asked Adi corner, but the way we live going to Adi round had a balance. I want to poke you on that one.
Look, I was just thinking
the research, yeah.
And one of the things around that was if you had to take a picture of the cars of back in the days, the 70s, the 70s, they were colorful as
yeah,
red, yellow, all these vehicles and all that. And then if you look at the majority of cars now, they're black, white, gray, silver. And that study was saying we are losing color in life, and not losing colors in like color, but losing the energy, the excitement and the joy of life. You know, life is not as colorful as it used to be. And now they are showing how the levels of depression have increased because we have lost color. When you look at the square house and all of that, there is a way they affect your mind. Unlike the
cycle, even the earth itself is supposedly round.
So the study was talking around how you can see so many ills in this day and age because all these things have programmed our minds in a negative way. People are not. People don't have mental strength, mental fortitude. People easily get depressed. The things that some people are getting depressed over in this day and age are things that we work through. What people call triggers are the things that we work through, and we came out as stronger people. We are not saying that opposed or whatever trigger and all of that, but we should experience the same things. We are just saying we need to look back and say, what are some things they make out of where we do the most important? You are better. How number and tafune was so there, how number moment to Yavijan was so there. But when you really study deeper, you realize that we had the best lives. Somebody said, could it be the reason why even people come from Europe, they come to our place in Africa and they stay in these chalets in the bush? Because the only place that still has touch with nature is Africa. So they come here once in a while and they want to walk bare feet in our land because that thing has a way of reorientating them, getting them in touch with who they are. It doesn't happen anymore. We are too cautious. We are too cautious. Sit down, play on your phone, Roblox, and all of those things.
We have been too safe for no reason. And when you look at people who are from Europe or from America, when they come to Botswana, look at the houses they own. If we are to go into Mukolodi, wherever, most of their houses, they thatch there.
They are best houses, the roof.
So they are doing what we are running away from. Yet we see what they are bringing as luxury. But now the growth of a person has a lot to do also with how now the world has changed. Now we are living Boro blocks and all these things. Now we have no control of our kids, and our kids could allow you know, with that how do we then build a person today? Because one way or the other, if we can't change back or we can't reverse, it means we need to make this person today to be a better person.
Because and I often say that no matter how much good you want for another person, if not thing in it, as my energy, I want to give. No matter how much I believe in you, if you don't believe in yourself, my belief in you is not greater than self-belief. So when we're now as individuals, when we're under an awakening of some sort, where the sort of key guys, we are the GBV, Mr. K, and Paul, things are messed up. We are at the high rates of divorces. Things are messed up, but not, they are not raised in proper environments in order the future. But I wanted to just want the luxurious things of if I can find a man on Togomelan. You know, there's an awakening. And this awakening is not from probably a certain sector or a certain group of people. It must be from every individual. I often say the best gift you can give to anyone is a better you. Which means you stand a better chance to benefit everything that is attached to you. I am a father, I am a husband, rather, I am a father, I am a pastor, I relate with a lot of people, and I am the common factor. So anywhere I get to, the value design, I want the mental strength. It is that weakness there. I think more than ever before, we are seeing back to back in so much weakness. It's very terrible. That's why people are making terrible decisions when life pressurizes them, relationships pressurizes them, passion killings and all of that. each and every one of us must have an awakening. And everybody ever kind of did that awakening to say, maybe I can pattern my life after this person. You know, we grew up never eating this and they are living better lives, and we are like, you know, and they were referred to what the mama for me, this only me also all of those things. Look at some people by the word of where wise, this person has been married 30 years. There will always be a point of reference somewhere in the community. And once each individual awakens to personal development, our individualistic development, we are making a big fight. The reason why they are about GBV, what among ourselves, is because then I can think. Learn how they think. Why you so panya by all you can.
Yeah.
And what happened around the Laja. But and because of that, our individualistic strengths and be able to say, we rise up together. And it is at that day when we how to listen. Some of the people by the word, but they are our friends. They are our
we are with them.
it's one more takai. Na want what the rasta are going to see more. Rasta worry. Nyare Kobono Kasunta. Had it please because how on a personal awakening, we turn a blind eye, Mr. K. What's blind about to get a game? We turn a blind eye. The other thing is to be done and what to get a game. High school is that we be a and I dare say this. High school do it this small up on air.
Yeah.
It's just that on it and on other social media to
amplify the noise. Yeah.
But what's a diablo would and I will win the cats on it, but go the whole. Motokona Pogonaras man. At yet some said you are out. Can me but I have. There are no 1 hour and a half to her. And a fun species we were. One I want to come out one in a certain village somewhere. He's sort of one more telling us, Mamma. How?
Me, we didn't see when you say you go on a hand.
Exactly. I'm happy over. And my explanation, what over to put over the word Naga. My 2K are not going to keep it. My 2K about wood. Nothing to work. So what the Havana might say. I want our boats. I want a mama. King, what I think really yellow boat me, except me.
Yeah.
Papa is a yellow boat. Mama is a yellow boat. My siblings get a yellow boat. Not in get a bunch. Hatamano Hana might tell about our Potamin City, a rubber documents what I need. Higher for Naya. Banabon people have a good demand. Babo Batabu, back we are covering King Nakasa 3 Jacabana Baba. Kids are kind. Mama, it is how naturally Nakari, Banama Havana might tell, Banama Tina would be. Read up all and talk on you. Doyanti, but Soloka was a to watch on before Neresa Bui, it had other than we was it, Samelon good, and ungood. And later on, you find what Banaban embassy empowered. How it's all around a ram at Kay. What an addict, Sabotok and a canary, reads our word to come. Not comes our committee or Tina so wide and our thing. Also, Joe Bonester would be. What were making up a fellow was written 1 9 about to do. And then you discover what it was. You were not empowered for life. Banapa was the post. Let us rise up to answer those questions. They are not going to be like us. My 2000 to 2010, they are not going to be like us. Back was why are we doing things the way we are doing them? They will ask the question of why. But we must be willing to answer the positive. And we must be willing to tell them the truth as it is. Because even if you don't tell them, one of our urgent pressure about the genetics.
Well, how did it?
How are you going to address that? Read by Timothy again, but about what the reports. What how we talk about it? It's a guy. But we must be able to know what the Bible is a guy. We must be educated enough to know where the origin of things are and be able to address them.
Yeah. But then hardly bella you nay. Kana Castwan. Mwana ha bue, mwana ha buti, mwana ki mwana. Right? Now, we are the generation that is caught between go botsa le go sa botsa. Because now, we are unfortunately right there. In the middle of raising ba batlang go botsa, at the same time, re tswa go sa budueng teng. So the balance in between there, we see a mushrooming of the psychologists,
Yes.
bana ba iso a di malatsing ba di therapy,
Yes.
and so on. Is that going to work though? Are we not just hiding re siela go therapist in jano?
I think ha re le batsadi re tshwantse gore re lemoge when bana ba gola gore bana ba simola go lemoga dilo leng
Yeah.
e be re sa didi
And ha go tshwana le bogologolo.
Ha go
Bana
tshwane
re tsaya
le
lebaka.
yes
Ba bone ba.
ba lemoga ba santse ba le 7 years old 6 years old ba se ba lemoga dio tse re di tlhalogantseng re ira form 5 ba di tlhaloganya ba di dira standard 1 so re tshwantse gore re lemoge. For example, I've never sat down with my parents re ira budget ya mo lapeng
Na ebile re se tsora gona le
Eh,
madi a tswa kae.
gore madi a tswa kae bana ba gompieno ba tshwanetse gore ba itse gore madi a tswa kae a dirwa jang and all of that ra lemoga a re in the sports fields and let's say soccer in particular 18-year-olds are earning equivalent of 1 million pula per week ba tsameka ko Europe kwa they are earning a lot of money in the tennis everywhere. We just had the young boy from America who was here. He's earning a lot of money for what?
He does nothing but something we call playing around.
Yes. Wa itse gore ha ke ne ke gola all these under 17 sona tsana go tseletsa bo basimane ba soccer bo Dipsy bo Mompati Tuma. I was a classmate le Mompati Tuma, by the way. And I remember my brother said to me, we were in high school. My brother said to me, o ska tshameka bolo go focus mo ditutong tsa gago. Right? And I was a very good soccer player. I could use both legs. I could play defense. I could play up front. Ebe go tera tshameka kana go tshameka has a connotation ya go ira se se leng gore ga sena boleng.
Yeah, I remember we had an argument with someone gore we need to remove this word motshameko.
Ke jo tse sena boleng. So re tshwanetse gore lemoge ha bana ba se ba gola ebile ba tlhaloganya dilo. A good example, Mr. K, a good example. Ngwana ga go o simolotse go itse leng ka sex.
Soon as tsena mo classing.
And
Standard 3, standard 4.
When did they first hear the word sex? Is it from the streets, from school, or from home?
Mo baneng ba ba.
Because of a truth, whoever introduces something to you holds a special place in you and the narrative of that word.
Yeah.
So really batsadi tshwantse gore re ska ra shy away from issues. Go gore ngwana ga go must learn sex from you. O mmolela ga re se re o te bo phatalatsa di.
Ha o se re tsa mo go di.
Ga re se re tsa mo go di.
O mmolela gore go diragala.
Yes. Ibile a nna le tshosologo ya gore nka ta go yena ha ile gore mongwe o bua sengwe ke be ke go botsa ka gone gore kana no mpoletse ka go lomo motho mongwe a re. That's why malatsinga bana ba ba setsana the only time gongwe ba itseng dilo tse ke mosimane mo gongwe mo strateng, and this boy is not telling ngwana go mo setsana ka selo se because wa morata o mmolela gore a tse advantage of
a dire se na batlang
a dire sa batlang go se dira, but because ngwana ga go ga ise a utule go kole from you o tshaba go go botsa ebile ga ke ya gore a re papa kana mama ka nte go lo mo go twaeng ga motho mongwe a go ra jana go raeng ngwana ha betshetswa kwa go raeng go betšiwa motho a go neela madi a ba go ra re takwano a go neela nekere go raeng re thanya after go nna le dio tse di busula di diragetse ke gone be re kana ngwana ga go rile senanne go irile senanne lemoga ha ngwana a go a gola ebile o lemoge tlhaloganya ya gagwe o bo simolla o kgona go bua le ene gore kana kokomane ga e tshwane kokomane e hitileng. I said this statement at a summit of young people. I said the youth are not a problem to be managed. They are treasures to be cultivated. Re tla bo re banana, they are the future leaders, and yet we are making future decisions without them, which tomorrow they are the ones to manage these decisions. But when we are making the decisions, we push them out of the room as if ba thaloganye. Make on ba thaloganya. If you want to tell me about a 70-year-old vision that you have, definitely to spread that vision, you are not going to bring 70-year-olds.
Yeah.
Because in 70 years, they won't be there. The best people to talk to is 15-year-olds, is 12-year-olds, 20-year-olds, for a 70-year vision.
Yeah.
Why are you making a 50-year vision? And the people that are making it are 65-year-olds. Will they be there? Do they even understand the change of the transformation of things and the way life is changing?
They can't even carry the first 10 years of that vision anyway.
Exactly. And the people that are to carry it through, they are alienated from these rooms. And we are saying that we are creating this for them. You know, before I came here, I was listening to something about one billionaire gentleman, and he said he's not going to allow his children to just enjoy his wealth when he's not here. He said every quarter he gathers his children, sits with them. He has already given them part of his wealth. And it starts with him. He tells them how much he's worth, where his wealth is accumulated, the companies that he's owning, the liquid cash that he has, and he shows them what his plan is. And then each child, he has 3 kids. Each one of them now outlines what they are doing as well, which companies they are running. And he says, I'm doing this so that I can guide them through. Ke bona ba go decide the companies tsa bone and their worth. If they are making mistakes, I am around to be able to help them, to guide them, and all of that. An average adult or parent, they die say it's gore dikumo tsa bone di ha kae. Ga o itse
le kgona go mo hitla ka madi a lona e re
Yes.
sa le mo hitla after 3 months le bona go le mo koranteng gore uncollected benefits.
Exactly. Ga go bolelle gore le ha na le dikgomo a go na le tsa kileng a di adima tsala ya gagwe ebile di le kahe moteng a thokahetseng re go ditsa gore o na a dira lehumo la le dirileng ka tsela e ntseng jang. So ke tsatsi le motho a thokahetseng ke gone re itseng gore gate eng ke eng kae ha gongwe go nna le bana ba ba tlang ba ile gore ne re sa ba itse ngwana teng a tare kana monno o na ntse a ntlhokomela. Now I'm in my 20s. An average parent is not able to see gore dinako di a kae ebile ke tshwantse gore ke bua le bongwana ke leng ke ba ra eng. We are spoiling our children, especially those who are privileged. We are spoiling our children. Ga ba itse gore o tsaya kae madi and your work ethic. Bana ba go ba ja meputso ya your hard work, but they don't know the hard work you are putting in. That's why wealth does not move from one generation to the next. Bana ba ba privileged, they end up becoming drug addicts, terrible people in the community, because they were just privileged. They didn't know where this came from. They were not taught the ethics of making it.
They don't know what working is.
Yes.
They just know where I'm sorted papa tlans.
Exactly.
Mama tlans. Now, that then brings another dynamic here. Go ya gore, we have to raise these people.
Yeah.
We are in this situation.
Yeah.
At what point, though, as a parent, should I decide what I need to teach my children this while I'm also busy in the hustle of? Because some of us work every day, 27 hours a day.
Yeah.
Not 24. We don't have 24
Yeah.
hours. Unfortunately, we live 27 hours in a day.
Exactly.
Some of us are working in that space.
Yeah.
When do I pause to say, one, hey, how important one because remember, baba unfortunately gore ba sanyala kana mosele sa tlhaloganya.
Yeah.
Go na go tswile nna hela ile ko.
Yeah.
When do we gather ourselves say, okay, here I'm going to pause?
I think by the time motho a nnang le ngwana kana a nnang le lelapa o tshwanetse gore a nne le a vision for the family
Okay.
gore la kae. Ha ngwana a dirisiwa ditiro dingwe mo lapeng for the sake of being ngwana go sena an understanding of why you are doing this. Say for example re na le moraka re nna ra morakeng go tea re morakeng dikole di tswetswe ra go dirang ko morakeng gongwe ke a morakeng hela ka gore ha ke sa morakeng ke a go bezwa kana ke a go mangwe kana ke a fosiwa. But ha mpolla gore re nna le moraka ngwanaka ke a go hella ke na le lerato la moraka le the education that or the course I want to pursue, it may be in line with what I saw my father doing because I want to advance this, right? By the time o nna le lelapa o nna le ngwana o tshwantse gore o bo khona go nna le tlhaloganya ya gore o itse gore wa go motsenya ditsheta tse e leng gore di a go mothusa mo botshelong. Botshelo gompieko is not as easy as things were before. Life is cruel. People are cruel. Before, ne re dumelana hela with what you'd call gentleman's agreement. My word was enough.
Yeah.
It's no longer so anymore. So, at a point that your child starts understanding things, musimo mo tsenge mo teng go na le merahe mengwe go nka tswe ke sa bui gore bae o no bona gore hela ha re re tsana sekwele ngwana wa morahe wo from the time a simolang go itse go dipalo change ke eno simolang go rekisa go ba se renke ke eno simolang go rekisa bana ba itse gore ra rekisa, this is for home. Ha ba se ba itse go ira madi ba bangwe ne ba direkise go di hardware tsa bone di weekend ke bona ba ne nna di cashier rona re paletswe ke go transfer the same knowledge to our children. An average parent thinks that ha itse ngwana sekolong it's enough. gore ngwana ga go itse dipalo o itse science o itse physics ga gore gore o itse botshelo o ka pasa ko sekweleng mme wa go faila mo botshelong and sekwele is not made go ruta ngwana ga go botshelo sekwele se ruta ngwana ga go sone dio tseo di subject tseo but botshelo ka bojone go relate le batho go dira dio tse leng gore di aga maikutlo a gago di aga your character it comes from home hela jaaka ne re rutilwe maitseo till today I thank God for batsadi ba me till today maitseo a leng gore ke nna le yone ke le moruti my parents were not Christ but se ke se dirang ke le moruti gompie kwana I would not say it was because of the Bible. Yes, the Bible I discovered gore ena dilo tseo but batsadi ba ba ntutile gore ngwana ka you don't defraud people. You don't lie to get by. Even if una le batho ene gore like gompie kwana gona batho gore ba mpheta ka dingwaga go kereke and they respect me as their pastor but I ke go ba go ka ditsebe and abuse that privilege. I got that from home. Batsadi ba ba sa rutega me ba nthutile gore mo botshelong wa bereka. My father never earned more than 2,000 pula in all his work of 25 years in a certain company. But I saw him making ends meet and working. And that work ethic is what I carried into my life. So some lessons come in a formal way, an intentional way. Others is by observation. How it's umuisa go meeting a bona gore o ira dilo jang sengwe sa tsena go nna le itemogelo gore nya mme re bereka dilo jang ha ngwana go gongwe o thusa bangwe mo motseng ko ana ba handijo gore ba itshetse o tsamaya le ngwana go ile ene yo ba nelang wa bona gore nya ra thusa batho mo botshelong. So every parent must know our children learn by the lessons we give to them, intentionally sitting them down, and by observation what you do. As much as you can, like you use this statement, you work 27 hours in a day. Make your children part of your work. A child you don't teach today is a child you will cry about tomorrow.
And I've noticed, and at this age, 5 years, 6 years,
yeah,
they want to go everywhere with you, not because they
exactly
want to just see what it is you do.
Yes,
you know, because I've seen this with my daughter. Even this morning, we were fighting.
Yeah,
and she said to me, yesterday I came for a meeting in the studio. So I said, I'm going to do now. I want to go with you.
Yeah.
She sits quietly.
Yeah.
After the whole meeting, she says, is that uncle going to start paying to record? And I said, how do you calculate? I says, no, because you're talking about money. I had pulas and 500s and whatever, and I knew.
Yeah.
This morning I said, I'm coming to the studio and I'm going to interview someone who's a pastor.
Yeah.
She's like, I want to go with you.
Wow.
You know, it's because now I've denied her the opportunity now.
Yeah.
But I think now from your words, no, she must just come along.
But to channel them. This is the truth. The minds of the children will never be vacant.
Yeah.
We must be intentional with what fills those minds. Someone somewhere will fill that mind. Somebody said, if you don't make a plan for your money, there is a businessman somewhere making a plan for how to get your money.
There's a thief praying for you to be successful with that money.
Exactly.
Because he wants it.
So if you don't fill your children's minds with how they should be, how they should live their lives, somebody will fill that mind. So it's on us to expose Banabarona. In fact, last year I saw an article that was saying that Banabarona don't learn a lot from what we say to them, but from what we do and from the memories, the key moments that we create for them, like traveling. A lesson that you will teach your child when you are in Italy or you are in Zimbabwe or you are in South Africa sticks more than the lesson you teach in your house, because that lesson will always be attached to the memory of we traveled. So anytime they think of that country or that place you went to, Remi or wherever, it brings forth the lesson that you taught when you were there. So it becomes very important for us to transfer this knowledge to our children. We spoke earlier about the game. Do we play these games with our children to transfer these games to them? These days. But by the game, what did Makwa do? Makwa were wise enough to package their games and to send them off. How packaged are they? If le khwala go tebeletsa phana rena ebele ikente be sa tolele phane e rileng e na le dikota tsena le tsone re tla bera ema bere he kana phane ya re tsoko shopong ya boketekete e turang he kana phane ya re tsoko boketekete magapu a rena le yone me gorogorwane. if we don't teach our children these things, someone will take advantage of them and teach them their things. Why are our children dreaming of going to Greece and going to other? Because you have not showed them that moga rena re na le Okavango, re na le Kasane, re na le, we have not showed them. So what they watch on TV is what they want to experience. We can teach them our own.
So now, obviously, building this and trying to raise Banaba to get into this place that we want them to grow into, a lot goes through.
Yes, sir.
And that lot, unfortunately, or fortunately, has got to do with two people. You know, we are seeing Botswana, one parent is doing the raising, one thinks he's doing the working.
Okay.
You know, and then we want to come back and complain, mwana ke wa rata dilo tsa basadi, mme ke monna. But I wasn't there to teach him how to hold selepe.
Yeah.
Ne ke se wa go kurufolwa toilet.
Yeah.
Mongwe eno mo rutile gore ngwana ka go mo go nkgao boela ko morago.
Eh,
You know, I don't want to say go dira.
I get you.
That part, the two people that manufactured this thing. Bona ra reng ka go.
There must be intentionality. There must be intentionality, and there must be presence that is felt by the child. It has been discovered that bana baba setsana ha ba godisiwa in a single parent home gongwe this young lady o na le ngwana ga ba mmogo le rre wa ngwana, and wa data gongwe today o data semang 3 months later ba breakile a pogota yo mongwe. Bana ba teng, they get into the stage of puberty earlier ba setsana by reason of the testosterone tse di harologaneng tse ba dinkgang in and out.
Okay, that explains a lot of things.
Yes, there is so much safety mo ngwaneng wa mosetsana a godisiwa ke rragwe, because and ga tsene into their menstrual cycles earlier and all of that, because o feel secure, o feel at home, o mo lapeng. This one testosterone e leng gore her makeup is smelling all the time, it gives them a sense of security. Ke gore what a woman is able to do to a child, a man can never do. No matter what you do. I know there are unfortunate situations where monna is not active and gabatle gonna active. Madi a gago can never be enough to raise a child. Your presence is more important. Ngwana gore a ithute dio tsa botshelo, you must be present. Even if you are not with the other parent, it's most important. You know, if my wife wants the girls to do something and they are, slacking and hesitating and all of that, and she says, I'm going to tell your father, or they move faster. Because my dad is here. But Tsadibote must understand, just as Ngwana can be made by one individual, it means that Ngwana can be raised by one individual. And your makeup as a man, as a woman, is needed. Sometimes the funny thing is this, like you are saying it, Monna thinks that enota iramadi. Ga presente, mosadi ke eno yang go di school meetings, ke eno yang go reka di uniform, ke eno ring, ena sa go ke go lebella TV, I make the money for you. Bana ba go ba bate madi a gago, they need your presence. In English, somebody said, your family doesn't need your presence.
They need your presence.
They need your presence. They don't need your gifts. They don't need your money. They don't need your cars. All these things, I work for you. After you work for me, be with me. Because by the time you have worked for your children, you'll be surprised that the good you afforded for them has destroyed them. You gave your children ATM cards, swipe as you want, there is money, and they use them because you have not taught them how to use that money. And they use that money for the wrong things. So this is an encouragement to all the parents. Be involved, be active in the lives of your children. Sit with them, ask them questions. When my daughter got into puberty, little teenager right there, simulacho di kwala molora, I realized that para skipper na tsama hubalet. And I was like, okay, something is happening here. One day I called her. She sat on my laps. And I asked her, have you had a conversation with mommy about, you're growing? Yeah, mommy told me something. And then, what did you understand? She's telling me. And I explained more. That you are having breasts does not mean that you are looking terrible. They don't make your dress to look terrible. They don't make your T-shirt to look terrible. You look more beautiful. From that day, the child started walking up straight. In the children's department, the Sunday school, little did I know, she was not even as participating as before. Ka gore ngwana wa ipotsa gore ke iragalelwa ke eng? Why am I not looking like my little sisters?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, her confidence came back up again. And as a father, I must be there to tell this child, this is what is happening. Having feelings for a boy means 1, 2, 3. There was a time if I would say to her that you're going to get married and have children, she was like, oh, marriage. Malating as a young teenager, she's the one who's telling me that I want to get married at 20, 21. See, the conversations have changed.
Yeah.
Know when your children are going through the different stages of life. Your kids are getting bullied at school and you are not aware. You have not given them the platform to talk because you are this strict father. You are this father who just wants good to happen for them and you never listen to them. An average person parent doesn't listen to their children. It's your word, it goes through. You buy them what you want them to wear. Have you taken them to the shops and asked them, pick what you want to wear? And tell them, why don't you want them to get this and you want them to get this one? You are teaching them the power of decision making because whether you like it or not, at some point they have to decide for themselves. Both parents need to be present and to be active and to teach their children how to do life, especially fathers. Don't leave it to the mothers. My children love it when they see me getting into the kitchen. I don't cook as often as I want to, but when I get into the kitchen, I only have girls, 4 of them. They love it when I get into the kitchen. They love it when I say, let's go and buy some refreshments, some little groceries in the house. In the busy schedule, make time for your children. Teach them, show them. Your son needs to see what it means to be a man from you, how you treat your wife, and demonstrate it in their presence. Let your girls see how you treat your wife so that they can know this is how a man treats a woman. Even if that woman is not in your life, you have moved on, you are no longer together. The way you respect the mother of this, your daughter, it must show that this girl is going to grow up knowing how a woman must be treated.
Which then brings us to this part.
Yeah.
You touched on it slightly earlier. Botswana's got a pandemic, a very serious pandemic.
Yeah.
If we look at how many women have died in the presence of or by hand of a man, is scary. To a
terrible.
point where even basic potential accidents happen.
Yeah.
The first thing we run to are a show when I are a show selling me. We live with that within us now. The gender-based violence scourge in this country is embarrassing for a country that when you look at peace statistics or peace ratings, we seem up there. We look at democracy statistics, we seem to be doing fine. But when you look at the happiness index, we are terrible.
low.
When you look at how many funerals are all not by natural causes and insurance are not paying out, this is a problem.
Yeah.
And I think maybe, this is my opinion, maybe it starts with the way that when my wife says to me, "Hawana meiti,
Yeah.
maybe it's me who's teaching these boys
The
to
younger
become the
generation.
killing man.
Yeah.
Where do we build this?
Honestly, the different thoughts around this whole thing are similar with the controversial one.
Yeah.
From the onset rights, or most people that are victims of GBV, it's women. Sometimes I say, this GBV that we see mostly, is it because Rebona the effects of the violence? As in, like, if Motswana we deal one me, Rebona a blue eye, Rebona mingapo. Honestly, the violence that is emotional.
GBA, gender-based abuse.
Yes. So gona le mahoko a buiwang a eleng gore ga monate. And most of the times mahoko ao, the recipients of them ke motho a rre. O se mata. Ga o tshwana ditsala tsa gago.
Hawana mosola.
Ga ona mosola. Mahoko ao a ba internalize-iwa. Ga nka ke ka go reporta go police.
Ka mahoko.
Ka gore o nthe ile gore ke semata. Ka gore o ntshwantshantse le ditsala. Banna ba le bantsi ba lela. And I know this is going to have a lot of reaction around but it's a thought that we need to get into.
Yeah, we need to be realistic.
Yeah, banna ba le bantsi ba lela. They are emotionally messed up. Some of them emotionally messed up by, of course, absent fathers, seeing the abuse towards their mothers, and they never dealt with these issues. I was talking with a young lady the other day, and she said they were doing some form of research of some sort, and they discovered that an average young boy lost their virginity in the hands of an older woman.
Yeah, but that's that one.
So this boy is 14 years old. It's a 20-year-old girl. As musimane, una feel gore ke na le motho yo o itseng wa bona ke a rutiwa.
Ebile majite ba tla bona kana.
Yes. Me hela ha re ba litho le ntšhotsho. Ngwana wa abusitswe. Wa musimane. Ba le bantsi ba gola. Gongwe motho a teng o ka tswa sa re ebile sa recognize as I was abused, because it's not like you were pinned down and abused sexually. It was something that seemed more like consensual, but ga gona consent mo a 14-year-old, so to say. Akere ga iyo legally. Mme ngwana yo gongwe they are acting out ha ba se ba gola. I'm trying to say I really learn the different angles that the abuse. But ba ileng gore ba ko pele in abusing the other gender, media maikutlo a ntseng jana e tswa kae? Some of them ba godile ba sena bo rra bone. Rragwe na siyo ka lebaka lehe. Gongwe ha motho a rre a kgobotediwa ka mahoko le ene o ira yang o hella a tsamaya. Ebe gote he's an absent father, right? Re tshwanetse gore re le batho re nne ha batse rotlhe, men, women together. Le ba itseanape ba ileng gore ba katisa gore, you know, mental issues and all of that. A re neng ha batse and work on this thing. Absent fathers, abused men, abused women, bana ba basetsana le bone ba bangwe go re bua jaaka e thamaletse. Ngwana mo setsana o gola le ba gompieko ba ileng gore bana le madi ba iperekela. Ngwana mo setsana o khona wa itswela gore ha bata motho yo batlang go tsena mo relationship le ena re ke bata mo nno nthokomela. Mo nno go thokomelana.
You know, something that disturbs Mr. B is this word yale benten.
Yes.
Right? You know, we now I think about it. I was looking at something today that shows it's an AI video shows kind of what we grew up with, but Ben 10 and others are all gone.
Yeah.
And I think Ben 10 but there are women in this city, who live their life around Kibatama Ben 10.
Yes.
You know, but these are people who maybe started doing this later on in life.
Yes.
Because when the relationships are born, but when you look at Bana,
yes.
And not to say anything bad about them, but I think in some cases, guys have been around and talked to. They were taught many things.
Yes.
By Bom Mama.
Go lebellwa ditshwantsho tsa metshikinyego tsa batho ba mpona o na le motho a go heta ka dingwaga a ba tsenya mo TV batho ba sa tswala ba dira ditiro tsa bone, and it's more like you are getting groomed.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why we have what we have. Ga re ise re blame batho ba bo merare. It's part of the things that when we are addressing this pandemic, le one re tshwanetse gore re lebelle. It's out there. Men are doing the most horrible things out there. Me go re ikagele rona re kgone gore re henye mabao re tshwanetse gore re comedy ra address motho a rre ra address motho a mme. There is a lot of women empowerment platforms and it's well and good. Girl child empowered, girl rise up, girl do the most, you are intelligent, you secure the bag, all of those things. How many men empowering platforms are there? And I give it to the ladies that are rising up to create these platforms for themselves. We also as the men, we must create the platforms that speak to us as the men. I often say this, I can go to the gym with a man for 1 year, I never know his name. And we never talk about important things of life. It is so painful how you can finish a meeting with someone and hear later on that they committed suicide.
Yeah.
And they were with you. You never ask the question of Brayag or Sharp. Are you okay? Is everything fine? Go jang ko lapeng? Lenyalo le ntse jang? Motho a taleletswe mme a ba sa bue. This brings us to rona re le banna. Let's go out and get help. More than all the fun we are having at a Sunday soccer, wherever we are going, now and all of that, we are bragging about, I am sub-1, I am sub-1. Bona, after you run that marathon, let's sit down and talk. You are building the abs, you are building the muscles, but let's talk. Emotionally, are you built up? Let's create platforms for ourselves as the men. Women have done their best, and empowering themselves has been one of the good things for us because these women are contributing emotional stability, mental strength, financially, they are rising up, intelligence, and we appreciate all of that the women are doing. Let's rise up also as the men. You see, the men get confused when a woman comes empowered. When a woman asks the relevant questions.
We don't know a woman who does that.
We don't know a woman who does that because we are providers. But how much you know, some years ago I saw, and I like talking about this story. I think it's relates motivating.
Yeah.
And they were talking about gender-based violence, and they were talking about this guy when I Mosadiyo. And then this lady about bonatiro ye botoka amogela botoka and all of that. And then one time the lady bua le the husband no morare bon modimo re soga haditse ara kanye go reka ntu gongwe nka tsa loan ka madi a me and then go ta deductiwa from my pay and then from salary ya gago re ka bona go re dirang ka dio tse dingwe tse di mo lapeng. What an insult to that guy. I feel like I got a salary ya gagwe ke a di toiletry.
Ga se ka reka ntlo.
Ya mosadi ke a dintu. A ba tsama wa go bolela tsala ya gago gore mona kana mona mosadi wa me ke ha riana. Mothaka le ke ha morara. Wa go talla.
But that's another problem though.
Yes.
How do we talk as men about our challenges when ra go leba ka tsela eo?
You see? The advice, as much as that was dramatized, the advice from the friend was more contain, and he used his hand like this, more contain. That guy started abusing the wife, Amarari, ask her para certain clothes, I go tirong, konarona bashimani go tirong. Asimunla, akona go appear, go tirong, amo go ga hapele ga batho anna abusive. Really, banna, we need to get empowered to realize gore. And I can say this to you because I do marriage counseling as well. Yeah. I have over 50 people that have gotten married over a period of time. I have had some of my proteges. The wives are any more than the husbands. But because we teach them, whatever we are making is for us. We are building the household. Horo, you are earning less than your wife does not mean that osekoba. And here it is. Basadi baba more than the men. In some cases, I'm not saying all the time. They don't even have a problem with it. They don't even see this money as their personal money. They are willing to artise in the same basket and advance the home. Because we don't sit with each other and really say when we are building, just because they can control the narrative by virtue of the money they have, by virtue of the education they have. My wife is more educated than me. When we started out in our relationship, my wife was earning 10 times my salary. My wife was the one that everything we're doing, mostly it was from her. And my wife never even once mentioned or whatever. When she left her job and we're doing what we are doing, ministry, and then doing her business and all of that, and I was making more, it never became my money. There is something called financial abuse where people control others because of the money that they bring in. So, monna yo feel I'm only a man because I bring the money. It's because we don't discuss those things. And we have not created platforms that say, Sir, I have 4 daughters. I need to be secured in my mind, in my thoughts. But where are we going to do that? The guy that is going to marry my daughter is somebody's son right now. If their father is not built up, this father is going to affect this boy in a toxic way. And that boy will want to marry my daughter. And my daughter is going to be a victim of that, God forbid. So, we brag about the cars we drive. We brag about our horsepower. We brag about our running pace. We brag about this and that. And we don't ask each other, how emotionally happy are we? This also leads to men having multiple partners outside marriage. Because on
They're trying to balance power.
yes, o kgona go nna le a side chick, o kgona go mo tlhokomela, mo duela rent, mo gaborone, o mo ha allowance ya 5,000, 10,000, and all of that. So really, banna, we must sit down. We are empowering the evil that sometimes we are like, some women are gold diggers. They will not be gold diggers if nobody was willing to be dug.
Happy, why are you showing me the mine?
Exactly.
Why are you showing these women the mine in the first place?
So we need to come together. Like I said, the women have done a good job by creating all these platforms for themselves. If you do a men conference right now, I was talking with one of my daughters and she was asking me about it, and I said, if we do some of these men meetings, how many men are going to show up? They don't show up because to them, counseling, Mr. K, marital counseling. Mosadi comes and says, schedules an appointment to come and see me. I talk with her, come with your husband. Men don't come for counseling. You know what they feel? Why should I tell a stranger about my issues? If Kebola Lamon no more, kana Mosadi or whoever the therapist, the counselor is, in Naikare, I've lost control of my marriage. Sir, understand, you are not the all-wise. You need somebody's perspective, view of life, and someone is more intelligent and more educated to know how to solve your issues and help you, empower you to go and still be the right man. There are clauses of confidentiality. We are not going to talk about your issues. We have been married for 30 years. You look good. How Rabatori, we have had issues with my wife and we solved them. You look good. You are empowering your children. But we are not even going to ask, which problems did you have that you solved? In fact, even when you talk about the problems you had and you sought help and you got the help, it still says a lot about you. So the gentleman, rise up, go for therapy, get counseling. If you have been abused sexually as a man, because it's possible and it has happened, come out, talk about it, not necessarily to the public. Find somebody that you can talk to. If you have violated only money or some things in you, talk about them. If you have been embarrassed because one guy who had money took your girlfriend, and because of that, the reason why some guys are working hard to make money is because in their growing, the only guys that had the right girls were the guys with the money. Now that they have the money, they feel like I can get all the girls. And when one girl refuses them, they violate this girl because they are like, why would you say no to me with all this money? I can make you. I can destroy you. You can't give somebody a promotion because you want sexual favors. You are wounded, sir. Get help.
Now, which then comes to this part, right? Women are empowered and getting empowered. The girl child is empowered and getting empowered, right? But the men, and I'm not talking about the young boys, the men themselves. Let's say right now, a woman goes and says, no, I'm going to get empowerment. Whatever.
Yeah.
When is the man going to be empowered to deal with an empowered woman? Because I don't think in our culture, as men, we are empowered to deal with an empowered woman.
Yeah.
We've not been taught to deal with an empowered woman. And that comes to play that how do I empower myself as a man to deal with an empowered woman? This goes to the role of government and church and community.
We cannot approach extraordinary situations with ordinary thoughts. We want to use life experiences as men to handle people that have intentional knowledge. It's not going to work. These women are empowered. These women are intelligent. These women have woken up to their power, to who they are. Yeah. And so, you must wake up to your power and not just try to use the culture that has been. That culture is wrong. Why is it that, maybe to just bring this for us to think, why do we have women's league in political parties, churches, and we don't have the men's league?
Because we think we own the space.
Because we think we own the space, but we own it with what? We own it with ordinary knowledge and not empowered knowledge. That's why when anything that seems to threaten what we think makes us who we are, we now use any other power that we have, including judge. So if now this woman, I was controlling her because she didn't have the money. Now she has the money. and I can't control her anymore. My power was money. So where do I resort to? I resort to I'm the man of the house. You see, that's a sign of ignorance right there.
Yeah.
That's a sign of ignorance. And like I said earlier, we as the men, for us to get empowered, let us go and find what it is that makes us who we are. We'll be surprised of how powerful we are. But it's like motho a sa batle go ira a medical checkup because they are scared of what they may find out. Okay, you are scared of what they may find out. Isn't it a good thing that if they find it out, they can help you? So the more you sit here, you are not aware that there is a cancerous cell in your body and it's spreading. Why should you be scared of what they may find out? So the men are scared of talking because they are scared of what might be said to them. What if what will be said to you is what empowers you for real? What if what will be said to you will be empowering to you? Create your own platforms. That is going to show us scientifically monna ontsejan. The brain of a man is built like this. Emotionally monna ontsejan. And the reason why you respond like this is because of 1, 2, 3. Let me bring something to our enlightenment here.
Yeah.
You know, when a child is naughty, and most of the naughty kids kana bana ba sa utlwing ke bana ba basimane ke bana ba basimane ngwana wa mosimane, it has been proven o utlwela ko teng ke ra le monnye ngwana wa mosetsana o
As in
bua
physical hearing.
Okay. Ngwana wa mosetsana o simolla go bua faster than wa mosimane in most cases ke ra ile bana ba gola
Yeah.
o simolla go bua. And go bua is a function of hearing.
Yes.
If a child is not talking, the first thing that the doctor will do is not to check their vocal cords, they check their hearing. Because ubua so sutwa. So how the ngwana mosimane ga utwi? Go twela gore o utwela ko teng. And ngwana mosimane o tshwantse go rubitse ga raro. Boago. Wa mosetsana, boago. Wa utwe bile wa respond. Ngwana mosimane o kare ga a tshabe ka gore o utwela ko teng. So ga a bone gore go lo mo ke le thata, o bona morago. Gore la re tsere go dile re ntse yana. Mosetsana o kgona go bata o sa lemoge. Bona wa kanya gore it's just work. Mosadi wa go ene wa go bona from afar go ngwanyane o le ga ke mo tshware sentle. O bo simola mora baby ga se sepe. Ngwana wa mosetsana o bona kana o utwa ka pela gona le wa mosimane. So amusimane o utwela ko teng. A re atolosesa mo. A boy child, let's say he has a vocabulary of 5,000 words. Ngwana mosetsana will have 15,000 words. Ebe go teng ngwana mosetsana o bua thata.
O gola ka bonako.
Yes, wa mosimane ga a bui thata. So even in a conversation, men don't win conversations against women because ngwana mosetsana o simolotse go bua ka bonako ebile o na le an expanded vocabulary than ya motho wa rre banna be gote ba didimetse. When you don't understand that o le motho wa rre, you will think that is a disadvantage on you, and so you use your quietness to translate to use your muscle now. Ga ke go bua ke actions speak louder than words. Now o bua ka face. Instead of discovering who we are as men, our makeup, your difference from a woman is for us to work together and not for us to fight. Le ngwana wa mme o tshwantse gore a lemoge gore go bueng ga me is not to insult a man, so I use my vocabulary to empower, not to destroy. So ha re sa ithaloganye and we don't create those platforms for ourselves gore re bue re le banna re kokwane re le majitahela mo lekgoteng yana ebe re bua gore kante mme gona ga te re jewa keng go rileng o feel insulted ha motho a mme a buileng ebile when you are insulted, how do you naturally respond? Ebe go tale bona ba ene gore ke ba itseng ka dio tsa thalaganyo ba re bolella gore maikutlo a sedilwa jang re bereke dilo jang. We have not heard that. We internalize hurt, we internalize pain, and then we blow up at those moments and we hear of passion killing, gender-based violence, we hear of suicides. The rate of suicide among men is higher than women. Because women talk. Mosadi khona o bua le motho mo kombi. Ala tsana mo kombi. Ba sa itsana. Aba simolla alla mo kombi. Ise motho wa rre. Motho wa rre will keep it, hoping it will get solved, sweep things under the carpet. Ngwaga o le mosha go ntse jana. Let's create platforms for ourselves. Re le banna in different sectors. Whether I go bua ka di investments. As a pastor, we do church meetings. For every 100 people that we have, half of them to 3/4 is women in church.
Yeah.
The only time I ever saw the attendance records and we were at par, 50%, 50%, was when we were having what we call the Millionaire Club. And we were talking about how to make money, how to... That's when we had the number of men equivalent to the number of women.
Yeah.
So, because that's where they think their power is.
Yeah.
And gareba blame, le mo Bible sir. Monna was made to work. Adam o dirilwe ebe wa tsengo mo gardeneng go ta bereke. Mosadi was made for companionship. By the time Efa adiriwa, ne go na le Adam, so there was a relationship. Monna spent some time, go sena relationship. So that's why women like nyale. Banna bone
We are okay even
we are okay. We are, as long as we say we work. Monna prides himself in work. Mosadi prides herself in community, in homemaking.
Providing comfort.
You
safety,
get.
Yeah.
So go tswa le go Bible but kgotho ke gore ga gona an understanding ya gore re nyalane our difference. Basadi ba batla gore re tshwane le bone. Ga re go tshwana le lona the bathong. Ga re go tshwana le basadi, ga re go bua jaaka basadi, ga re go tsana go shopong re reka jaaka lona. Rona re tsana hela re tsa skipara ratso. Wana o batla go itekanya o batla gore mme le wena o le motho wa re wa thaloganya. Ha ke tsama le mosadi wa me, let me be patient. Le wena o le motho wa me wa thaloganya gore ga bo go tsana ko yote ho. So we must find the meeting ground. If it's a 1 hour o shopa, monna ga go tsa 30 minutes. Go ngwa re 40 minutes. It works for the both of us. Each has compromised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now that is that. But the man gets empowered, hopefully someday.
Yes.
But the systems, are they empowered? You know, kanyang we wileng khatela gore monna le ha rogilwe.
Yeah.
And the tse di buang right. Ga se gore di monata ga re tsa batho ba but there are some men who have written notes.
Yeah.
Because we find that it's easier for a man to kill themselves. You
Yeah.
sit there and say, if I kill myself, I'm going. You know what I mean? But the systems are in place. And the systems I'm talking about, policies and law enforcement,
Yes.
and people are supposed to take care of us.
Yes.
I don't think the police, Botswana, or Africa,
Yeah.
Africans in general,
Yeah.
are prepared for a man who comes and says, strict
Yeah.
How do we get the police in there? Because they are busy arresting, they are busy getting asserted, writing the court, prosecutor. But
Yeah.
Where do we build? Because we also need to build them in this equation.
Mr. K, I was at the barber shop and where I cut my hair, it's only men.
Okay.
So it's
That's
not a
good
saloon.
place. Please direct me.
It's a barber shop. So go a buiwa. And go a buiwa gone ha gore kana ha o tsana go police kwa bra engwe bile a bua gore nna ke ke ka go police motho a tsenya dipuo ke bona gore yo batla gore ke mmetse. Mme hanga mmetse kana ke a go tsana mo mathateng. Ke be ke a go bolella mapodisi. A re ke ne ka lebelo ka re ke se kopa go a o monna. Wa re ngwana go shapa ka dimpa mane mona. And go buiwa in a way e leng gore witseking o lebelwa ko tase le ha monna hela forget gongwe ya maikuto kana mahoko le ha monna ka tare I've been sexually abused a monna wa re ngwana go irile ene monna because it still goes back to this. There is a wrong view ya gore monna ke these empowerment platforms, they will go to the policemen who will now understand Hamuta violated, it has no respect of gender. Moto wa rre o na le batho ba bo rre re bone le di video malaba mo social media mosimane a betswa ke ngwanyana ka dimpa
Thata le go.
ha mosimane ole ana ema ka dinao a mo khama
Nka be changing.
ha na ema ka dinao a mo khama it will be a different story. But mosimane ole ena ga e go reporta ka gore wa go nyefolwa ke batho kwa and borre ba le bone ga ke ba blame ba leng gore ngwe ke ba mapodisi kana ba eng ga re se re mapodisi o tra re ba ba why le bone ba ntse yalo because le bone they have a wrong view ya gore monna ke ha e le gore ra re mosadi wa basadi bangwe ba kgona go defend, they have learned how to do karate, kung fu, whatever. Mme monna ena ha re wa defender kore nna ekare you are more stronger, you shouldn't have done that. So once we get empowered, le bone banna ba e leng gore ba nyefola ba bangwe for being violated, they will also understand gore no, this is a right man who chose to not respond to this woman. He could have done terrible things, and he's here o kopa gore a thusiwe. Le rona e be re thusiwe. O bua ka the systems in general. Kore le ha o tsena le ko ditirong hela yana o tsena le ko ditirong, it's an easy thing. Ha bo swa ga go ile motho wa mme o gona gore a re kanto yana o monna, stop crying like a little girl. Like a little girl. Who said a little girl is the one who cries? I am a man in touch le maikutlo a me. Kore le ha o le monna o lela, a re o bua le your girlfriend and o bona le emotional, o bolla about the situation, o lla ke le di rota gate ga o monna.
You ka nna le ditsela tsa go a di bolelela.
Gote itse nna ke ne ka re ke batla monna ke tswa go bona se kopa e be re ha o lla le go to ngwanyana o buiswa dipuo tse dintseng jalo. That whole aspect is showing us that there is no balance of empowerment. I dare even say this to the women that are creating women empowerment platforms. Don't create the women to be stronger for themselves. Create them to know how to assimilate men into their lives. Because some of these women are becoming too strong and they are using their strength wrongly. Their economic strength, they use it wrongly. Ha ta na le madi more than mna ke le warre. From being empowered at a women platform, she now looks down on me. And I don't blame her. She was empowered in a one-sided manner.
Yeah.
Girl, go and secure the bag. She secured it, but she didn't know what to do with the bag. She's thinking now that I have the bag, I can talk anyhow to this guy. She was not empowered to say, I have made enough, I am emotionally strong, and I can stand in for my husband. The day that my husband, probably the contracts are not coming together, I can stand with him, for him, and support him. So let our empowerment be balanced to the point that ritisa makalana ote a harloganing in the community. Political leaders, church community, everyone, le basadi ka bobone ba teha re thaloganyesane, because at the end of the day, the person you are not empowering, you may be a victim of them.
So now, which then brings this balance. There's, when you read more social media, and I think we need to touch on this, people who say, this issues are same sex and gays and so on.
Yeah.
When you act a certain way, when you become a man who now is in touch with your feelings,
your
emotions. How do we then take that into play? Because the judgment is always going to be there.
Yeah.
We are also misunderstanding but the gays and homosexuals. We are misunderstanding them.
Yeah. Bon, fortunately, we work on social media. There is one guy, he's a doctor in South Africa, I think Dr. Musa or something. He's married to one lady, I think she used to be in the pageantry or something like that. And that guy loves his wife loudly. Like, he can take a video looking at the wife passing, saying, I've never seen a beautiful girl like he's all loud. And some people think that he's being fake. He's not being genuine. Because banna bale bantsi koro rata mosadi wa go ka walete. But to express yourself, and basadi, they thrive on that. They thrive on being told you are beautiful, you are this, you are that. Because of what you just said. Especially at the time when you are in touch with your emotions, when you say, oh baby, you are beautiful, oh baby, thank you for all you do for us, But when now it's an argument in the home, and then she says something that touches you, and then you look down and you shed a tear. I thought ki bua le monna go loga. Next I told ki bua le ngwanyana.
And then your story starts becoming something else.
In another thing. Because, and these things don't happen when things are fine. They happen when we are fighting. I apologize. It has not taken the words out of my mind. And then now, I am pushed to now becoming a strong man as they label strength.
And that strength goes physical.
Toxic.
All right. So now, in wrapping up, two things I want to touch base on.
Error.
Constitution, your take on the movements that are happening now.
You are moving me into this one. Okay.
In short.
I think it's time for the constitution to be reviewed. Fine and good. Me a go nne le consultation e rileng. From my church side of things, na go tseng mo tlo bo utwa dilo go twe re consult le batho bote ba ileng gore ba kana makalana a harologaneng a representileng batho ba harologaneng. And you wonder, we makalana. I'm not talking from an on-ground guy. I'm talking about somebody who's in the leadership of Makala now. We were never told anything. And then you are trying to bring this. You see, people want to know if they can trust you, if you're a political leader.
Yeah.
If go nna le megoma go metswe nna e kare o hita dio dingwe. Go mo go ena gape. Go re o tso supe gore ga ke hiti sepe. But I think it's high time constitution to be reviewed. Good, it's like they were telling whether they were good as far as they lasted to whatever period. Now do di change. Are di leben re bona gore a me mo go santse gore berekela, no problem. But I'm le mongwe ane involved to the point that by the time it gets out here, everyone can take ownership of it and say, this speaks to me, ke le Motswana, ibile it advances maikaelelo a me a leng gore ke a batala tšhaba ya rona. But we must also understand we are not going to agree on everything. And we must be willing to disagree, and on our disagreements be able to uphold whatever it is that we have reached as a conclusion of how we want to be. Because am I going to be a tautona ya ba Kriste? No, ke tautona ya mongwe le mongwe.
Yeah.
And mongwe le mongwe must benefit. I agree uphold the human rights. Is it the human rights of the Christians only or for everyone? So not every element is going to speak to you as an individual and satisfy you as an individual.
Another one, we have a campaign that we are running as the Content Center.
All right.
And it's called This is 60.
All right.
This is 60 is a campaign that we are trying to make it a very loud thing until September. We are looking at Botswana. Botswana is turning 60. We want to hear from different people. What is it that you find worth the 60? And what is it you've seen changing? And what do you want to see Botswana post the 60 years? This is 60.
All right. Botswana has come a long way. We have seen a lot of developments, and even seeing a change of regimes politically, which spoke a lot about us, really Botswana, and the political sphere and all of that. We have seen Botswana getting educated. We are so educated. We have seen Botswana trying to get into various spaces. Botswana is still ripe and still virgin. Let me use that word, still version. There is so much that can be done for Botswana. We are being celebrated there, our 4x4 guys. We are seeing our minister going for the pageantry. We want to see now going forward an intentional, intentional success, where we are grooming the next generation because he has the passion for mabelo and only skill only. There must be where we produce all these things. The good thing about it in this generation is this: our population is no longer a disadvantage because the world has become a global village. You can produce whatever you are producing here, put in a platform, e-commerce, sell in other places, other countries, and all of that. We are still virgin as a land to really bring forth our abilities and our treasures that are here. I would even encourage more in these 60 years as we are celebrating. Let us put an eye on some things that distinguishes us, like our natural foods and all of that. The things that make us, instead of trying to celebrate that which is foreign, how they do things from elsewhere, let us focus on what makes us who we are and blow our own stories. Let us celebrate our own people who are making efforts to be great. Let us empower them. Let us finance them. Let us resource them. And as Botswana, let us be very careful of being critical over everything. We are not going to like each other in everything. But I can tell you this, we have the talent, we have the abilities. If we can just be one, with the idea and the mind that says we also want to be among the people that are doing well. So whether you are playing soccer, or you are in pageantry, or you are in fashion design, or whatever it is, let us rally behind our own, support them, and buy Botswana, those who are producing, elevate your quality, and put yourself out there. Let's support each other. No foreign institution is going to make a country like Botswana. It's on us re le Batswana gore re ikage, re nne seopo sengwe, and build the nation that we want to have.
Right, and that is Pastor B.F. Rams, as he's known. And thank you very much for your time, right? So we can learn from you as we go on.
Thank you for having me. Grateful.
Right. And that ends the other episode of the Think.Set in 2026. And as you know, we are pushing the campaign. This is 60. What are you doing, Motswana? What do you want to talk about? Talk to us. Let's see how best we can get this conversation out and celebrate who we are. But the things that define us, please take care of those things, bring those things to light, and let's enjoy them. Thank you for watching.